Open it! Open it! Open it up, bro!
Don't.
People look at my play, Topdog, Underdog, and do ask me, what does it mean? What's it about? What's the point of that? What are the issues you're trying to... It's just two brothers in a room, even if their names weren't Lincoln and Booth, I think, you know, but they're just two people who came from the same two pieces of flesh, and that's a lot. Just that is a lot, you know?
That was my inheritance, man! You stole my inheritance, that ain't right! That ain't right, and you know it, because you had your own, and you blew it.
When I'm writing the characters and I have to get them out of my system, it's a great feeling to see them up on stage, or even on the page. It's a great feeling because they're free, they're out of me. If they were to stay in me, they would strangle me. It's true.
At the beginning, I think a lot of us thought that Suzan-Lori Parks, for all her admirable qualities, was going to be a cult favorite. She's audacious. She's willing to take on big American topics, but somehow she manages to make them work without dumbing down and without selling out.
So it was January 1999. I was having a difficult time at this regional theater. I was between a rock and a hard place. And the only thing I could think to do was write. So I just sat down and wrote this play. It's about two brothers, Lincoln and Booth. And the Lincoln character, his real name's Lincoln, but he also is a Lincoln impersonator. And he works in an arcade impersonating Abraham Lincoln.
People are funny about their Lincoln shit. It's historical. People like their historical shit in a certain way. They like it to unfold the way they folded it up, neatly like a book, not raggedy and bloody and screaming. You're trying to get me fired. Shit, I'm a brother playing Lincoln. That's a stretch for anybody's imagination.
Someone got mad at me once because they said, you don't write about yourself, you never write about yourself, you know? And, but really I do write about myself all the time. It's just that myself, in the bigger sense of the understanding of that term, is actually, you know, everybody. We are all everybody.
You didn't get shit tonight.
Oh, you just jealous, man.
You laying over there, balls blue as my boosted suit. You laying over there waiting for me to fall asleep or black out or something so I won't hear you rustling the pages of your fuck book.
Oh, fuck you, man.
I was over there looking for something the other week, and there's about 100 fuck books under your bed, and they all matted together like a bad fro, bro. Cause you spunked in the pages and you didn't wipe them off.
Hey, I'm hot. I need constant sexual release. Hey, if I wasn't taking care of myself by myself, I'd be out there running around on the town, which costs cash that I don't have. So I'd be out there doing worse. I'd be out there doing who knows what. Man, I'd be out there shooting people and shit. Out of a need for unresolved sexual release. Hey, I am a hot man. I ain't apologizing for it.
A lot of people have kind of looked at me funny and they say, how did you write this? You know, as if, you know, I'm really weird or something. You know, or something, you know, you must have a dick, you know, if you wrote this play. And I said, well, you know, no, I don't, duh, but it's odd that people think that that's the only way that you can write, you know, plays about people who talk about their dicks, is to have one.
We have to talk about the obvious, which is that Lincoln and Booth were two historical white men, and you have chosen two black men to play these brothers named Lincoln and Booth. So this has to be an exploration of race at the same time that it's an exploration of just brotherly rivalry.
I guess. I don't know. You know, with black people, when they hang out, is it an exploration of race? Just two black people in a room together? You know, maybe. I mean, sure. But I wasn't thinking, I wasn't planning, I wasn't plotting, I wasn't strategizing, I wasn't thinking of issues or themes or anything. There was absolutely none of that. I was just moving my hands around on the keyboard, listening and just writing down what was, it was like it was a movie going on in front of me, and I was writing really fast to keep up.
I'm gonna show you the cards. 2 black cards, but only 1 heart.
There's one brother, Booth, the younger brother, who really wants to learn how to play this con game, 3-card monte. He's not very good.
Whoa! Man! Don't ever be doing that shit!
His brother, Lincoln, used to be the best 3-card monte con artist ever. It was his game. One day he stopped doing it, swore off the cards, and got a job doing the Lincoln act, impersonating Lincoln at this arcade. So one brother really wants to learn how to do this great thing that his brother can do brilliantly. His brother doesn't want to show him.
Right.
Can't be hustling no more, bro.
Wait, what you do all day long, that ain't no hustle.
That's all this work.
Dressing up like some cracker-ass white man, some dead president, and letting people shoot at you. That sounds like a hustle to me.
People know the real deal. When people know the real deal, it ain't a hustle.
We do the cards, people will know the real deal. Sometimes we will win, sometimes they will win. If they faster, they win. If we faster, we win.
I ain't going back to that, bro. I ain't going back.
You play Honest Abe, but you ain't going back. But you go all the way back the way back when folks were slaves and shit.
Don't push me.
You're gonna have to leave.
I'll be gone tomorrow.
Good, because this was only supposed to be a temporary
I will be gone
situation.
tomorrow.
Good.
You're gonna have to leave, says Booth. And I remember when I wrote that, I was paralyzed with fear for like 1 second. Because I said, oh no, the play's over. You're gonna have to leave. He leaves, the end, you know, like that. And then I said, no, just keep going. You're gonna have to leave. Because this is always going to be temporary. I'll be gone tomorrow. I'll be gone tomorrow. Booth says, good. End of the play. No. Link, what does Link want? Lincoln wants Booth not to kick him out of the house. And then, you know, we have to deal with the other desire of Lincoln's, which is, I want to practice because I don't want to lose my job.
Bang!
I love the fact that Lincoln was shot while watching a play. He was shot in a theater while watching a play.
Bang!
There was a voice behind me, and it started talking. It was like someone is standing there behind you going, watch it with Chewbacca.
Still, you chose Lincoln and not George Washington or Jefferson or Machiavelli or you name it. I mean, you chose this guy.
But is there any sense to say he chose me?
Sometimes it happens where, you know, if you're a conduit and you're an open, and I'm serious about this, I think if you're open and you're listening, and if you kind of get out of the way, these voices and words start coming through.
I loved myths, Greek myths, you know? When I was a little girl, I loved myths. Zeus and Athena. I was thinking about it the other day that my mom and dad gave me like the Layers book of Greek myths, big thing, pictures, and I used to read it, go, wow, this is so cool. So the leap from Greek myth to Greek drama isn't that big, and the leap from Greek myth to like American myth. Lincoln and Booth, Cyclops, you know, it's the same thing. I fall in love with huge things, big things that are enormous and not completely comprehensible.
Upon reading the play, what I was first struck by was the first image of the play. Lincoln, this black man standing in white face. All of Suzan-Lori's work that I've read has a great flair to it, and it's a great surreality about it.
That's good. Ready? Ready. It was the easiest thing I'd ever written. It came to me fairly effortlessly. Does it feel real? Does it feel real? Yeah. I think I've become better at writing a play. And not a traditional play. Topdog is not a traditional play. It looks like one, which is the fun of it. It's a sleight of hand. It's very much like a good game of three-card monte. Take it from the top. One good pick will get you in, two good picks, and you're gonna win. Go ahead. Watch me now. Whoa, man, whoa. You think I'm a chump? No, I don't. You ain't going full out. I was just getting started. July 2000, I'm living out in LA, waiting to hear from the Public Theater about Topdog. They've already done 3 of my plays. They've announced they're going to do it. But I haven't heard who the actors are going to be, who the director's going to be, and I haven't heard when they're going to do it. George Wolfe says, just go with the flow, just go with the flow, and that, you know, drives me bananas sometimes. Well, so whenever. So you guys will tell me whenever we're going to do the play. But then who do we get to D-I-R-E-C-T? Nah, huh? What about Mary McClellan? He's good. Yeah, is he doing what you call it with August? Yeah, he's doing August's play. Darn. Oh yeah! Kenny Leon, what about him? Yeah, right, forget him. Yeah, I guess he's too busy. What about George Wolfe? What about him? Why don't you call him? You know him. You could do a really good job on my play, Mr. Wolfe. You really could. You could knock it out, man. Why don't you do it? Well, I'm okay. So now I've done my formal, asking. Would you like me to come over there and kiss all your little feet, even your little ugly little toe? September 2000. I don't want to get my hopes up, but I know how much it would mean if George Wolfe were to direct this play. Now all I have to do is convince him of that. Oh, the full one. Oh my God. I start this new teaching job today. I've taught before. I've taught the New School and Yale. But this time it'll be different because this time I get to run the whole playwriting department.
I can let you in your office right now.
Oh, that'll be great. That's all I need. I don't really need a key.
Here. Minor details.
A lot of people think that it's a job of the teacher to tell the student whether or not they should be a writer. And I very much do not think that is my job or even my right. When I was in high school, loved English and loved writing, but I was a very poor speller. And my English teacher, she called me into her office before I graduated and she said, I would suggest that you not study English. You could study other things, Yeah, but, oh God, that's really good. We're taking before and after pictures. This whole semester, I'm wondering, will George call me? Will he want to do Topdog? If he doesn't want to do Topdog, who will do Topdog? What actors will we get? When will we do it? Those books, we're going to be reading them probably out loud, especially the Poetics and Oedipus. I know, Poetics, it's like, tradition, But we might as well see what he has to say so we can either follow it or run screaming and never again return. We'll be encouraging what I call the mind behind the mind, and we started talking about this the other day. Your great plays are all back here. They're all waiting. They're waiting for you. They're sitting there all curled up, waiting. Call me. They say. But the emphasis in general, just a quick overview, is on waking up the theater that you already have inside you and helping to identify your own particular voice. You are the future of American theater, whether you like it or not. To quote the great writer James Baldwin, your crown is bought and paid for. All you have to do is put it on your head. There's a saying that those who can't teach, and I wonder sometimes if I will lose the ability to write because I'm teaching. I went to Mount Holyoke College, and I got an opportunity to meet James Baldwin and take a creative writing class with him. Everyone would hang out with him after class, except me. I was way too shy because my parents raised me to call adults like Mr. Baldwin. He said, "Oh, call me Jimmy." I could never call him Jimmy. He was Mr. Baldwin. I've been reading his book since I was in 4th grade. Then he said, "Try playwriting." I tell people he gave me a kiss on the forehead and told me that I was going to be good at what I was going to do. So when I moved to New York and tried to get my plays done, and a lot of people said, "Those aren't plays. Those are, I don't know what they are, but they're not plays, and they're not very good even if they were, and I don't like the way you write," and yada. I had this other thing going on that had to do only with the quality of the work. When I moved to New York, I'd written one play. I took a typing course to make money. I had this temp job where I had to wear, skirts and stocking, clothes to work at some bank where I would type for some guy who was like screaming at you all day. So I would show up in the East Village, all these hangout places of these cool, in-the-know downtown people, and they would all kind of snicker because I'd just come from work. So they would laugh at me. That makes you feel like, shit, I'm not for real. And then you write your little things, and they get rejected for reasons like, this is not a play, the way you spell words is very ridiculous. People were stomping on me. My first production in New York, I produced myself. I wasn't going to wait around for somebody to do it for me, so I paid actors and a director and did a production of Betting on the Dust Commander at a little teeny theater in the East Village. I was having a great time. My parents were there. They were proud of me. I felt like I was happening. I was happening, to me. And things, they didn't take off, things just kept sort of plopping along. Little teeny festivals where they'd do only maybe 10 minutes of a play that was an hour and 10 minutes long. Sometimes I think I should write a letter to all the people who are not me, who have nothing in common with me. I don't know, just to see if they would write back. I see strangers slurping their espressos in an out-of-town fashion. I ask them for their names and addresses. They never refuse me. The first line of my letter reads, "Hello, I'm a black." I haven't written any more than that. Well, there were little steps. The next was, someone decided to produce a play of mine, Imperceptible Mutabilities in the Third Kingdom at Baca Downtown. And it won the Obie Award for Best New American Play. The next play I wrote was the America play. And that's when the founding fathers, Abraham Lincoln, came in. A Lincoln impersonator, a black man who impersonates Abraham Lincoln. Suddenly, all these elements are brought together. Next came Venus. A dismembered person is brought together in that play, and major. And I also knew that after I'd written that play, it was like getting your black belt in karate. You're on another level.
She takes these overwhelming symbols. The idea of having a play called the America play and have in it the whole that's in American history. Or to take on Nathaniel Hawthorne's Scarlet Letter to show how sort of the same stigma applies to African-American mothers on welfare. What she does is show how myths seem to acquire ever greater weight throughout history until people are trapped beneath them.
November 2000. Still waiting to hear from the Public Theater. They'd already done a couple of readings, and they said, wow, we could get some real name actors to do this play. You know, movie star guys. But this is a pretty tough year to do a play. Screen Actors Guild, they're about to go on strike or something. We're scheduled to go into rehearsal in January, but everyone might be doing a film. So, because of the strike that's going to happen in June of next year. So, we don't know what to do now. January 2001. The production has been postponed until March at least. I have a couple of weeks without classes, so Paul, my fiance, who's a blues musician, suggests that we go to New Orleans. Ooh, this is
the showers.
Wow, when you wanna. This is like North by Northwest.
City of New Orleans. We go through Mississippi.
Where else?
Greenwood, Mississippi.
This is gonna be this, and it's during the
Memphis.
day, so you can see everything. Oh, this is great. So I'm gonna sleep on the top. Okay?
Yeah.
And you can sleep on the bottom.
Well, we sleep together on the top.
Or we can sleep together on the top. Topdog is dedicated to Paul.
You pick a black card, you gotta lose, and a black card, you gotta lose. So where's the red card at? You gotta lose.
It was Paul who taught me how to throw the cards.
All right, look, this is the way the game goes. You can't win at this game.
Because we were walking down Canal Street about 3 years ago, maybe.
Cards down here. You got a red card, you got two black cards.
And we're walking, minding our own business, you know. We see these guys doing the three-card monte hustle. And for some reason, I can't keep walking. I stand there, I stare. And then I hear this voice at the side of my head telling me play by play what they're doing. And it's Paul. Now, I didn't know until then that he used to do this for money.
Well, you had the card, but you didn't have the heart. I'm gonna show it to you one more time. Watch me now.
As he explained to me last night, well, baby, it's different because I'm a musician who used to hustle back in the day. I'm not like a hustler.
Where's it at?
So I'm getting this like totally exciting thing watching it. And then the voice of, you know, the man I love going, okay, watch now, you know. Watch for the blow off. Watch for the hook. Here it comes. Watch. The dealer's gonna turn his head and cough. And the guy would go, and he said, did you see what happened? And I'm like, no, what happened? The other guy turned the card, you missed it.
I live the life I love, and I love the life I live. You know, that's the life of a blues musician. When I was a young man, I was a member of Muddy Waters Band. And I stayed in Muddy's band until the end of '71, and I lived in Muddy Waters' house and absorbed all the life there. I first learned three-card monte from Muddy, you know, but Muddy didn't really know how to do it that good. Later, I ran into this guy in Canada, and that's all he did most of his life, hustle three-card monte at the racetracks, and I bought him drinks for a week while I was there. He finally gave it up, and he showed me the moves. And once I had these moves, I couldn't resist trying them. But after a while, I thought that really jinxed me, because music is my real hustle. And I put the cards down. I didn't want to touch them anymore.
Paul's connected a lot more to the play than just someone who taught me how to throw three-card monte. His whole life, you know, I mean, hanging out with Paul and just being able to be around that kind of lifestyle really influenced the play. I mean, the rooming house where Lincoln and Booth live, it looks a lot like the room that Paul used to live in. But that's not to say that the play is his life. That's where the imagination of the writer takes over.
Tarot?
What's this? What kind of questions? Like yes/no questions, or?
Any kind of questions you want. Love, money, career. Then you just shuffle this deck.
A shuffle deck. This is my fate. So I have a new play coming up.
Okay.
A production of a new play.
Okay.
Can you tell me how it's going to go?
Draw 3 cards.
Oh, 3 cards. Oh dear, this is like 3-card Monte.
1. Almost.
Oh, almost? But in 3-card Monte, you can never win.
The 5 of Wands talks about how you're at this point right now where it's time for you to prove things to people, especially to yourself.
My yoga teacher said, have you ever heard of the saying, go effortlessly in the direction of your dream? And he said, try it. And I had to ask him, what does effortlessly mean?
It means don't think about it. It means relax. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. If it's not going to happen, there's no point in stressing about it.
Out of the blue, I get a phone call, and suddenly it became a lot clearer how it would all play out for Topdog. George called me up and said, okay. We know we're gonna do it. June. And I said, June for a new play. That's novel. One of the actors that we very much want, Jeffrey Wright, is going to be available in June. He's doing some movie. Question mark about the director. Who's the director? And George Wolfe is going to direct it. At this moment in time, what is this, the 3rd of January, 2001, George Wolfe is going to direct the play. Okay, so now we have George and we have Jeffrey, and the question mark now is Lincoln. Go with the flow. This year has been an incredible year. When I was getting dressed for the ceremony, and they put the robe on me and all that, I said, wow, it's like being in a play. And they said, yes, it is, and here's your costume. And I said, well, what part am I playing? And they said, you're the star. A couple of days ago, I came up to Mount Holyoke on the train by way of Springfield, and while I was riding along, I overheard a woman saying she was headed to Mount Holyoke College, and I turned to her and started up a conversation and said, what are you heading up to Mount Holyoke for? And she said, I'm heading up for my 50th reunion. And I said, wow, that's really great. And she said, well, what are you going to Mount Holyoke for? And I said, I'm going to give the commencement address. And she smiled. And she turned away, and about 5 minutes later, she turned back to me and she said, now, what are you really going up to Mount Holyoke for?
It is with greatest pleasure we bestow upon you the degree, Doctor of Humane Letters, Honora Causa.
Oh, thank you. May 2001, all the pieces are falling into place. I heard that Don Cheadle has agreed to play Lincoln, which is great. The opening is going to be sometime around July. It's been pushed back until July. And it just hit me. I'm going to be working with George Wolfe.
I was always interested in finding my voice inside of all different kinds of theater, as well as telling the stories about the culture that I was from. So when I saw her work, I went, oh my God, she's violating and defying and celebrating all these things that should be violated and celebrated.
I told him that this play, you know, somewhere in the back of my mind, this play was written for him. Up until now, I've been both of the characters. I've been Lincoln and I've been Booth. You know, even though we've had lots of readings and everything, I've been sort of the only one who's been them. Oh, look at this gray, these gray hair. Oh, wow, look at that one. Today's a day where I allow Don and Jeffrey to be Lincoln and Booth, and I become the playwright in the room. Now I'm gonna have to share. You know, I think there's pressure, but I think it's the pressure of expectation. You know, there's a lot of hype. A lot of people say, wow, it's a great play, you know. Or, wow, they're great actors. Wow, it's George Wolfe. Whoa, wow, hey, hoo, ha. You know, so there's a lot of expectation. But before anyone read the play, back in 1999 when I wrote it, I knew I had written exactly the play that I set out to write. So it's easy. it makes it easy. When people say it's a great play, I don't go, oh no, maybe it's not, you know? I know in my heart that it's a great play for me. What the critics say, who knows? You know, we can't control what they say. You know, they're going to say whatever. But I love this play, so I just rest in that. So just before we started rehearsal, George had this accident. He fell and broke his jaw. So he has to direct now with his mouth wired shut. Go with the flow. It's fun because today Don read Booth and Jeffrey read Lincoln. And Jeffrey had never read Lincoln before.
For this evening's performance, the role of Booth will be played by.
Will we play by who? I'm waiting.
There's the black card, there's the other loser, and there's the red card, the winner. Cop seat, stick, cop seat, go on.
You getting good at solitaire?
Yeah. How about we play a hand after dinner?
Solitaire?
In a poker or rummy or something.
You know I don't touch the cards, man.
Just for fun.
Don't touch the cards.
How about for money?
You don't got no money. All the money you got, I bring in here.
I got my inheritance.
That's like saying you don't got no money because you ain't never gonna do nothing with it.
At least I still got mine. You blew yours. One good pick will get you in. 2 good picks, you gonna win. Don't touch my cards, man. Don't touch my cards, man. Just point to the one you want. That's the loser. The red deuce, the deuce are hearts.
You know what I think? You know what? He loves the confrontation more than he loves the game. No, I'm talking about he loves
the part of the game.
Don't touch my card. What's wrong with you, man? What's good?
That maybe that as well, why he wants to learn the game is not so much, you know, the fascination with the hustle of making money, but is just getting into Lincoln shit.
Exactly.
I decided to make a last-minute change in the script. It seemed like a little thing, but it's actually a big thing to me.
Yeah,
you know, so I think we take that away and make it just a voice within him. I think it'll still be there. I just think
When something's gained and something lost, we just have to figure out what the way of it is.
Okay. We were talking about how it might be better if Lincoln's impetus for swearing off the cards comes from inside and not from some palm reading woman that sees him on the street and turns over his hand. So I rewrote scene 4 so that Lincoln talks about the thing inside that died. His spirit, a voice inside him said, quit. And he didn't quit. He went out there, threw one more time, and his friend Lonnie got shot and died.
Yeah, I was good. I was the be-all and all. I was throwing them cards like throwing them cards was made for me. Made for me and me alone. I was the best thing anybody ever seen, coast to coast. Everybody said so, and I never lost, not once, not one time. That's how much them cards was mine. You know, I woke up one day, man, and I didn't have a taste for it no more. It was like something in me knew. Something in me knew it was time to quit. Quit while he was ahead. Something in you was telling you, but hell no, not link the stink. So I went out there and I threw it one more time. And Lonnie died. Somebody shot him. Got a good job. Arcade lets me go, I'll get another good job. Spend my whole life hustling. There's more to me than that. There's more to Link than that. There's more to life than cheating some idiot out of his paycheck or his life savings.
Hey, you ever wonder if someone's gonna come in there with a real gun? A real gun with real slugs?
I don't got no enemies.
Your best customer? Some miscellaneous stranger?
I can't be worrying about the actions of miscellaneous strangers.
Yeah, but here they come. But there they come, day in, day out, for a chance to shoot Honest Abe. You must see something.
George can tell me when a moment needs fleshing out.
I'm supposed to be sitting watching the play, I'm supposed to be staring straight ahead, watching the play, like Honest Abe was.
I never directed anything like this, never directed a two-character, quote-unquote, realistic play. But it became a sort of passion of mine to create a situation where she could work with fellow artists who would go on the journey of opening up this incredibly intimate work.
And go wherever you go to find these things, and we'll wait for you, Susan-Lori.
It's called, no, I was going to do it here, but he doesn't want me to do it here.
It's called row 5.
He wants me to do it. I crawl underneath the stage with Hamlet's ghost.
Go back to row 5.
Yeah, right. That's a special place.
To row L because that's when her mooses talk to her.
Right. Fuck you. Excuse me. Yeah, you go ahead and laugh.
Well, it's pretty dark.
Like there was a moment where Lincoln was talking about his job, where he said, we need more. And I said, how much more?
You want this much, which I thought was the most annoying question on the planet.
And George said, well, just write something.
And then she proceeded to sit there and type out this thing, which was a breathtaking piece of writing, which was the description that Lincoln has of the assassination.
The gun, always cold. Winter or summer, that gun is always cold. And when the gun touches me, he can feel I'm warm and he knows I'm alive. And if I'm alive, then he can shoot me dead. And for a minute, with him hanging back there behind me, it's real. I'm looking at him upside down and him looking at me looking like Lincoln. And he shoots and I slump down and close my eyes. And he goes off the other way and the others come in. A whole day full, bunches of kids.
There's a section in the play in which my character, Lincoln, is being coached by Booth. This kind of high comedy.
Bang! Ah!
And just when it is at its highest, is an opportunity for me to wrestle that away from the audience and reveal much more vulnerable, much more painful element.
You just got to show your boss that you can do things that a wax dummy can't do. You too dry with it, man. You got to add spicy shit.
Like what?
Like when they shoot you. I don't know. Scream or something.
Scream?
Yeah, try it. Like, I'll be the killer. Stay there.
A lot of directors would just see the sadness in the play, and it would be all dark and sad and world-weary. A lot of the directors would see only the comedy in the play, and it would be a laugh riot and with no depth. George sees both.
I'll be the killer. Bang! Ah! That's good.
We're trying to push and say, okay, how could we further that, foolishness, and then undercut it with something that's horrible and tragic. I mean, that's what we were looking for, these huge spikes and valleys.
Did you try wiggling around on the floor?
Yeah.
Yeah, show me. Bang! No, you look more like a worm on the sidewalk, man. Move your arms. Good. Now scream or something. Hold your head or something. Yeah, watch something. Good. Now look at me. I am Booth. I am the assassin. Come on, man. Go all out. This is life or death. Okay, cool, man. Cool, man. Cool. That's enough, man.
Comedy and tragedy can exist side by side and can exist in the same moment, which is what this play is all about. And I tell people this play is a scream. It's a laugh riot, and it's also a scream like this.
What do you think?
I don't know, man. It was something. It was looking too real or something.
See, they don't want it looking too real. You lying. I scare the customers. See, then I'd be out for sure. You trying to get me fired.
I'm trying to help, man. Cross my heart.
You trying to get me fired. People are funny about they Lincoln shit. It's historical. People like their historical shit in a certain way. They like it to unfold it the way they folded it up, not raggedy and bloody and screaming and shit. Trying to get me fired.
It's hilarious, and then at the same moment, it's really shocking and then sad and then bizarre.
I'm a brother playing Lincoln. It's a stretch for it's a stretch for anyone's imagination, and it ain't easy for me either. And every day I put this shit on, and I go in there and I make it work. I make it look easy, but it's hard. This shit is hard, but it works because I work it, and you trying to get me fired. It's a sit-down job with benefits.
It is hard. Writing is hard. I mean, even, this is the easiest play I've ever written. It was still hard. People have this idea. You meet people at cocktail parties all the time. I'm going to write a novel. I got a novel in me. I'm going to try out writing a play. I've got a flair for drama. Everybody who wants to write should write. But people do think that it's easy until they sit down and try.
This is the stuff that we work up to. It's like,
see, well, Suzan-Lori's there already.
Suzan-Lori, where are you? There you are.
You said it was crazy. You said it was crazy.
Yes. And there's still some things I want to set up with you. The New York Times is doing a profile piece on Wednesday, and they want to get it in the paper.
Okay.
And then the Charlie Rose thing, which I really want you to do.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
Hold on, please. Thank you. Oh, Lord. That's kind of loud, huh?
July 2001. We open this week, and I wonder what's going to happen now. Will the reviews be good? Will the reviews be bad? Tennessee Williams talks about the catastrophe of success. Maybe everyone will love it, and maybe I'll, get a swelled head and be unable to write, which is the most important thing to me, to just be able to write.
Hey, Susan.
How pretty. Everybody's here. My students are here all the way from California, and there was a big article in the Times today about the show. So a lot of people are very excited. I know, I pull it, When I wrote the play, I knew what was going to happen to Lincoln. I knew how they were going to end up. I knew that, Lincoln was going to lose his job at the arcade. I knew that Booth wasn't going to get together with his girlfriend, Grace. But I don't know what's going to happen with me. So I knew what was going to happen with my characters. I don't know what's going to happen with this character.
You look sad.
No, I'm just...
Cool?
Yeah, cool. Hey, they give you a severance package at the job?
A week's pay.
That's great.
I blew it. I spent it.
On what?
I don't know. I just spent it. Felt good spending it. Felt really good. Like back in the day when I was really making money, throwing the cards all day, strutting and rutting all night. Didn't have to take no shit from no fools.
One lives with one's history, one's personal history, and one's cultural history every single time one walks out the door. The ramifications and the scars that these two brothers have because they were abandoned live with them in the moment to moment to moment.
Why do you think they left us, man?
Mom and Pops, I don't think about that too much.
I don't think they liked us.
No, that ain't it.
No, I think there was something out there that they liked more than they liked us. And for years, they were struggling against moving toward that more like something. Each of them had one. Mom's had hers and Pops had his, and they were struggling. They moved us out of that nasty apartment into a house, right? A whole house. It weren't perfect, but it was a house, and they bought it, and they brought us there and everything we owned, figuring we could be a family in that house, and them things, and two separate things, would just lead them be.
Nothing is casual. Nothing is forgotten. Nothing is forgiven. These guys, whenever they prick that, balloon of the past, it just, everything comes out again.
And I'm gonna set up these fucking cards, and you gonna throw. Or are you scared?
I'm gone.
Fuck that!
Damn, I didn't know it went so deep for you, little bro. Set it up.
I'ma stomp you.
Set it up. Watch me close. Watch me close now.
Comes to a point in the play where the two brothers stop being brothers and turn into male animals. That's when deadly, awful things can happen.
Watch me close. Watch me close now. Follow the dog deuce. Dog deuce get you in there. Can I get you 20 for me? Show the cards. You got 2 red cards. You got only 1 black. You put the winning deuce down the center, lose the reds on the other side, just move them around. 1 good pick to get you in. Watch me now, watch me now, watch me now. Okay, 3 cards. You know which cards the deuce of spades? It's for real now, man. You pick wrong, I'm in your wide, and I keep mine.
I pick right, I get your shit.
Yeah.
Plus I stomped you good and hard and for real.
Yeah. You think we're really brothers?
What?
Man, I know we're brothers, but is we really brothers? Blood brothers are not you and me. What do you think?
I think we're brothers.
Go ahead, man. Where's the deuce? You sure?
I'm sure.
Don't touch that card.
I'm sure.
Oh, deuce of hearts, bro. The deuce of spades was this one. I guess this is all mine. Better luck next time. Ain't throwing the cards at the whole world.
Right up through the last seconds of the play, they can choose how they act. The end of the play comes about not because of some kind of predestined fate, but because Lincoln chooses to behave a certain way and Booth chooses to behave a certain way. And it has hardly anything to do with Abraham Lincoln and John Wilkes Booth, and everything to do with the 2 men in the play who happen to be named Lincoln and Booth.
Shit, there's so much to these games. There's just so much to it.
They have broken free of the historical context.
I ain't laughing at you, man. I'm just laughing. Oh, you certainly was persistent. But you was in such a hurry to learn the last move, you didn't bother to learn the first move. That was your mistake. And it's the first move that separates the player from the played. And the first move is to learn there ain't no winning. May look like you got a chance, but the only time you pick right is when the man lets you.
Fuck you.
Fuck you. Whatever, man. I ain't laughing at you, man. I'm just laughing.
What is Booth killing when he kills Lincoln? Someone asked me at one of these audience things. And I said, well, he's killing Lincoln. I mean, I know that he's killing Lincoln. I mean, I'm sure that, I know he was asking for a much deeper, well, you know, is this the racism in America, the sort of fraud that was freeing up the slaves, or I mean, there's so many metaphors that could be dumped on top of it that, yeah, you could go with any of those.
I'm telling you, that little bro shit had to go.
If we can find a way to experience the play that, yes, they are 2 black men. They have problems that are specific to a lot of black men. Yes. Okay, we understand that in the first 3 seconds of the play, and now we are allowed to see what other points, what other places they might, you know, their universality, the way they affect us, American society as a whole.
That's a bunch of bullshit, and you know it.
Take it back.
No, I ain't gonna be needing that. You want it. You open it.
No thanks.
Open it. Open it. Open it. Open it up, bro!
Don't.
What the play's also about on another level is
You think you can take my shit?
2 black men working together.
That shit was mine!
These 2 guys, these 2 actors on stage have gotten together and created this pageant for us to watch. The pageant says it can be different. We can work together and create this pageant, and you guys can come and see it and experience it.
It's rare that we hear a black woman's voice, and a voice that's as original and as sharp and as poignant as Suzan-Lori's. We're telling our stories, and they may not be the truth, but at least the mistakes are ours, you know?
Susie was her name.
I want you to meet my mom.
Long-term mama, like to drive for me and say,
how are you doing?
She can make that stand. Yeah, man, she could work that stand.
No, we make our own rules. We say what we want.
You know she could work that stuff. Man, make you really wanna blow your child.
Ready?
Now she 5 foot 6.
This is where we met. Paul was playing here, and he was on the bandstand, and I stood at the door and went, ah, that's my man.
Cause she could work that stuff.
Woo! Uh-oh, I'm a little dizzy.
Yeah, man, she could work.
People say, oh, it's selling really well. Oh, it's a hit, you know. So that's good, a hit.
You know she could work that stuff. Man, make it really
before it's outside of you, and then it's in you, and then it's on the page, and then you do readings or whatever, and you have it, and it's small and containable. And then you see it, and people laugh, and you're with it, you're in it, you're part of it. And now it's bigger than you, and it's huge, and it's this thing, and it's a hit, and it's something, and it's out there, and whatever, and people, you know, stop me in SUVs and say, I loved your play, and you think, ah, you know. Yes, I'm going to walk on that milky white way, oh child, some of these days. Yes, I'm going to walk that milky white way.
Look at the marquee.
Oh, some of these days. Well, well, well. I'm going to walk up and take my stand. Going to shout out all over this land. I'm gonna walk on that milky white way, oh child, some of these days.